Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Thank you for your donation. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for subscribing. Now, I want to carry on with the difference between the United Kingdom and America. United Kingdom has been running the show, or the establishment has been running America until Trump got in. And that's why, for you Brits that are watching this and you're not aware of, and you might have been following the press and don't like Trump, it's because you've been propagandized too and don't realize it. So that has for a long, long while, in fact, since James I and the founding fathers left the shores of Britain because of a despotic government at that time, and he actually gave them a charter to start a colony, and then changed his mind, and then so the Brits went after and really tried to destroy that very beginnings of America. That's in a nutshell. So it has always been that Britain wants America in its clutches, and it has had America in its clutches over a long period. Britain went through a period in 1212 of the Magna Carta. The barons and the people were outraged at how King John was treating them, and the Magna Carta was signed. However, in, I think it was 1213, King John gave all the lands and the people to the Pope, because remember, England was a totally Catholic country. So we've belonged to the Pope until quite recently. We've got that song, Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. And the people of Britain have been brought up with that they are the mighty ones to rule. And really what it is basically the Roman Empire that's come over through, as LaRouche says, a Byzantium Empire and then the Venetian Empire, and into they sacked France, and consequently we got that horrendous period of time with all the guillotining, etc., the French Revolution, and they ended up in the city of London, and they are still ruling the world. What we've seen, those people of us that have been following what's been going on in America over a long period of time, but particularly since 9/11, which most people know is an inside job and is related back to the British establishment. And also we've seen in Britain what has been going on from the beginnings of the EEC, the European Union as it then became, and that was in 1972 under Edward Heath. So we can see really the two countries. Britain has been treacherous both with America and also with its own people. America has been treacherous also with its own people, and it has acted as the military for the financial centre of Britain to destroy and capture the rest of the world. That was until Trump came on the scene. That was huge. So I've got a couple of things here that Trump is doing. And we're starting off with Ivanka.
Through tax reform, we fought hard for the American working family. In 2019, as you fill out your taxes and you check the box for the child tax credit, you will have a doubled child tax credit and enhanced refundability. Super important. The most important investment we can make as a country is in the next generation of Americans, and we're doing just that through our tax code.
So he's been dealing with taxes and also the wall, protecting the country from illegal aliens coming in. In my last video, you would have heard me talk about Dr. John Coleman, and we listened to a little bit of the 21 Goals of the Illuminati in the Committee 300, Wake Up America. So, and I introduced you to Christopher Story in this video, and there are other ones, talking about the beginnings of the European Union and what was behind them. Because really what is going on is the intentionality of the communizing, the socializing and the communizing of the world, literally dragging it into the gutter. And of course, there are some very wonderful people fighting back. And Lyndon LaRouche was certainly one of them. So here we've got one of the posts of the LaRouchePAC. Finish taking America presidency back from the British Empire. Now, I've got LaRouchePAC writes, understanding the ferocity of the attacks on Donald Trump and our Constitution may seem to be a head-scratcher. Is it really just due to Barack Obama and Hillary partisan at the top levels of the Justice Department conspiring with a bunch of know-nothing, hot-headed, politically correct millennials and sour deep state apacaches in the news media, the meme favoured by Fox News? If so, why isn't the president being more effectively defended? Is the deep state simply the permanent American administrative bureaucracy which lives on relentlessly like a slime mold in the swamps of Washington, D.C., regardless of who the voters elect? Or has the whole of Washington, D.C., along with the most of the New York City, Massachusetts and California, simply gone stark raving mad through an invasion of alien space creatures eating away at their brains by space bugs which have been weaponized, no doubt, by Vladimir Putin, who, if you read the media, weaponizes everything in some secret Siberian laboratory, including, drumroll please, jokes. Okay, now, what we've seen in Britain is with the Brexit debacle. It's not a Brexit debacle. It is actually, we've seen the treason of Theresa May, and right across the board, some of the politicians of all parties and some of the civil servants, and it has been very, very shocking. I think many of the politicians probably could never really consider the evil and the duplicity that was going on behind closed doors in some areas of government. I think they've been completely naive to it, not all of them, but some of them. And they cannot but see what has been going on, and nor can the electorate not see what's been going on. And even people who voted to remain in Europe are shocked, apparently, and I'm delighted to hear that, because regardless of what they voted for, they are shocked at how the political theatre, I think you could call it, have behaved. And we have really been able to see the wheat from the chaff. And there are wheat, and boy, there is a lot of chaff. So really what we're seeing in both countries, and also in Europe, the European countries as well, who are beginning to put their feet down and say, no more, it's enough, we want out of this European demonic, I'd be inclined to say paedophilic, not all of them, but quite a number. We need to be shot of them, and quite right too. Now, this is another one of LaRouche's emails that comes through, and I do suggest you sign on to the LaRouchePAC. You'll get some very interesting information. They're a wonderful group. But the previous one, it talked about, oh, maybe it was Putin that was doing all these things, because the British have been blaming Russia for a long while. So the fact that the Brits were behind the Russiagate, or what it's called dirty dossier, let's read this. Russiagate is being transformed into an exposure of the British coup. As President Trump said after January the 11th, New York Times reported that the FBI had opened a counterintelligence investigation into the president as a Russian agent. The Times article exposed nothing about Trump and everything about the overt criminality of the entire nest of British assets in the FBI and the DOJ, nearly all of whom have been driven out of office by their own corruption. Now, new leaks of the congressional testimony of Bruce Orr, the former Associate Deputy Attorney General, revealed that MI6 operative Christopher Steele, author of the discredited dossier on Trump and Russia, maintained contact with the FBI long after he was officially fired for leaking to the press, and the FBI even tried to rehire him after Trump fired Comey. Here is another one, 20th of March this was on. President Trump knows it's a British coup against him, but the American people, not he, can defeat it. The London Independent angry headlined its coverage yesterday of an even angrier British Foreign Office. Trump UK government hits out at President's completely false suggestion Britain invented Russia's 2016 election meddling. President Trump has just tweeted a message which said exactly that Russiagate was designed in part to help the British counter Russian influence by baiting the United States into taking a hard line against Moscow, and the message in turn retweeted one by Democratic Rep Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, who recognized Trump's reluctant continuation of the permanent war policy of Bush and Obama as the direct result of the attacks of Russiagate, which amount to a 3-year long-running attempt at a coup. Right, well, the Muller report is shortly going to be out, and also the Fisa report. And I think, and I'm a Brit, and I'm not against Britain, but I am against, you could call them the criminal cabal that actually are really trying to constantly create war. Well, God bless everyone. Stay well. This is Katania Alvin signing out. Bye-bye. P.S. Links will be in the description box as per usual. God bless.